I've made a lot more progress, as you can see. I've broken a couple more things. That's pretty typical with these, especially when the engine's so rusted. Here's the water pump. I don't really want to replace it necessarily. If I can get it cleaned up and looking good, then I'm gonna just reuse it. But I had to cut this off, as you can see right here. That was a bolt, so I could get that off because it was so tight in there. So I used my new cutting torch, and I cut that off. You can see all the slag that it knocked all over the place. But now you can see the cylinder liner. Here, let me get my flashlight on. There you go. You can see part of the second one back there, right in there, and I can just stick a screwdriver way back in there. And this is going to get hot tub because look at this. That stuff is not good in there. It gets mixed into your antifreeze and stuff. That's why it's not really why you use antifreeze necessarily. It's more natural. It's normal for that to happen. But yeah, now I'm going to get this bracket off, whatever the hell that's for. Oh yeah, just alternator. And I took off a few things over here, including the fuel pump, which just happens to not be a gear-driven fuel pump like I thought. It's actually a literal pump. You can see on the camshaft in there that it's driven by a lobe. And I thought that was interesting. But yeah, so I might end up putting an upgraded fuel pump in there because that doesn't seem like it would do the job. Might not be able to pump for a dual carburetor setup, which I'm going to put on there. So now I'm going to try and get these manifolds off the intake first. So let me go ahead and try to get some of these bolts off. Okay, so as you can see, I've started working on this here, and I noticed that this looks like it's a nut. I mean, it might not be. I'm not too sure. We'll have to look at it when it's out, but there was nothing attached to it, and I started cranking on it, and it's just moving the whole thing, but it came loose, and now it's like I can take it off by hand. Hopefully, oh yeah. That might explain some of the loss of power that I was experiencing. This exhaust bolt isn't tightened all the way. Yeah, that was super loose. The gasket's flaring up. So I don't know if this engine has been rebuilt necessarily, but I do know that it is not really all snug. It's not all that snug. I wonder how it's going to go with the head bolts. And I'm going to plan on replacing all these bolts. So I'm not looking forward to that, but I'm going to probably want to do that so that way we don't run into problems. Let me go ahead and get the rest of those off. So I got all those bolts off, and it's always good to stay organized. I kind of have a little bit of a lack of it over here, but I've got the bolts and the spacers and the washers laying where they should be. All I can say is that this wasn't me. Actually, no, that's fine because that nut is still on there, right there. So, but I got all the top ones off. So that's pretty much about to come out. But on the underneath, you can access these with the impact gun. You can see right there, right there, right there. And then there's probably 2 more over there. 3 more, actually. I'm going to get those off with the impact gun right now. That's funny. So I'm getting close to realizing that this engine might have already been rebuilt, knowing that there's so much missing things, all the wiring shuffled around with, everything's a little bit bent. I kind of can picture, because of meeting the people that sold me the truck, that this engine might have been rebuilt, knowing that none of these bolts on this intake or exhaust were tightened very well. And this bolt, I was having a little struggle here. You can see it has no lip on it, like, I just dropped my wrench, like these do. No lip right there. That's weird. So this one doesn't have a lip, and it actually turns out to be 5/8 and not 9/16. I was trying 9/16. You can see. Can't get it on there. So, yeah. You would think this thing would weigh 20 to 30 pounds, but no. The thing weighs probably about 50, just around 50. It's pretty heavy. When I took that last bolt off that I was having a hard time getting to, which it did end up being 9/16, but it was just a different style bolt, or in a different place rather. But it fell down pretty hard. Ooh, got the hiccups. Looking at our exhaust, I can see the cylinders that were burning oil. This one, it's just mainly that one. It looks like this one was running a little bit lean, which could be explained by the fact that the whole intake like pikes up and towards and back for whatever reason. Just, I guess, trying to make it harder to take it out or something. But yeah, I got that out, and then I don't know if I should drill these out and take them out, but I'm going to, because the kit comes with new ones. That, and then right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take the top off and continue from there. Another sign that this thing has been rebuilt is this. I guess that the intake was somehow disformed, and they put another gasket in. So I am guessing that this is its second rebuild, and it probably sat for the 10 years because they kept having problems with it after the rebuild. Yeah, you can see some sealant there that was put on there. Kind of a little investigation. I really think that it's a good idea for me to put the dual carbs on there because this intake is trash, and this manifold is trash. It's all trash. So probably some kind of a performance kit. And that's a pretty little broken bolt right there. There actually should have been more bolts on this than there really was. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the cover off. Well, I got all the bolts off of that. How do you think it's gonna look? Oh, looking pretty decent. Here's all my head cover bolts, valve cover bolts. I don't see any sign of water getting in here. That's pretty tight. 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 That one's really extremely tight. That's probably because it's on that stroke, getting ready to... Oh. Would you look at that? Oh, I can't wait to tell my dad that. Well, here's why the truck was not running so great, guys. Here's why it's coughing so much oil out the exhaust. You kind of need your rocker to be tight in there. Wow. So definitely some new lock nuts for these. That would definitely throw you out a cylinder. And also this lifter is not setting on anything. So next I'm going to take the distributor off and take this off. So let me do that. I don't know why, but this is always satisfying. I'm going to time my vehicle. Ah, snap. Gotta time it 10 degrees before top dead center. Oh, that's just about right. It's a lot better than the stupid computer that they put in cars nowadays. Ooh. Oh, that's why. There's a little Allen. I wouldn't doubt that that's what's holding it in. Let me go get that out. Well, that's funny. That's not an Allen. Oh, there we go. I was just overthinking it. Just had to wrestle it a little bit. There we go. There's the shaft. Going down to drive the oil pump off of this gear that comes off of the camshaft. So put that in my little holder over there. Keeps it in place, the timing. Put that in a special place.